like to thank you that you decided to be here today. You could have been in any other place, maybe dating someone, having a brunch, sleeping more, but you are here. And I know it's a very long way since you decide to go somewhere and actually get there. So I'm very grateful for that. So I will tell you a little bit about my story, who I am, because I believe it's very important on whose hands you're letting yourself on. I studied psychology, spirituality since I was 14 years old. I was very young because my sister died of cancer, and I started to ask myself, what's with this life? Why do we have it if we can lose it in 2 months like she did? She was 9, I was 14, and one day she just fell sick, and in 2 months she disappeared. So it was a shock for me that you receive this life and you can just lose it. And for the next years, I read a lot, I met lots of people because I wanted to find out why was she the chosen one to die and not me. So I discovered later on that I was envious a little bit because she was the chosen one to die and finish all this life and all these problems. And every time when I had a problem, I was saying, oh my God, I wish I was the chosen one. I wouldn't have this problem now. It was very easy to think like that, obviously. So, but I really wanted to love life. I had this huge desire, and I was trying to find my meaning, the purpose of life. Do we really have a mission? What's with this life? So I read a lot, I studied a lot, I went to psychology, I did clinical psychology, then I started journalism. I worked for 7 years in a private investigation firm as a manager assistant at the beginning, then as a detective. So I did lots of stuff, but I was not finding myself. And when I was in a very important meeting one day, I was 30, I decided that I'm going to quit all my life. That was very comfortable and very beautiful, and I'm going to move to Bali to search for the meaning of life. And obviously I discovered that you don't find anything there. It's just a beautiful place. The meaning of life, it's in me. So I decided that my mission of life is to inspire people through my story. So I'm taking my suffering and transform it into art. Everything now that I have and it's making me suffer, I say, okay, how can I use this to grow and also inspire other people? So in 4 years, I published 3 books. I have tons of online classes in my language, in Romania. So it's a little bit challenging for me now to do everything in English. And I have lots of workshops where I give to the people the tools to work on themselves, because I believe we are all gods. I see God, I don't know if you believe in God or not, but I see God as our hand, right? And He's the hand and we are the fingers. So basically, if we are the fingers, we all are creators. We all can do magical stuff. But we don't recognize that in ourselves all the time. We forget sometimes. That's why my first book, it was called I Wanted to Die, but I Changed My Mind. Because it was very easy. Dying is very easy, but living and be happy and find your happiness, that's a real struggle, that's a real mission. Another mistake that I was doing is searching for one mission. Searching only for one mission in life, it's being very modest, because we have more missions. If we are teenagers, our mission is just to be happy and enjoy life. Maybe then we find another mission. Maybe we change our mind in 10 years and we have another mission. So I believe that we can wake up every morning and say, okay, this is my new mission, and I will invest energy in that. And my last book is called If I Would Get Out of My Way, because I believe we are the only ones standing in our way. And I will tell you how I decided to change my mind about death. I did a family constellation. Have you ever done something like that? It's very powerful. Basically, you go back into your life and find the most important events and why did they happen in your life. And in that constellation, my sister came and told me that you're still here on planet Earth because you have tons of work to do, so stop complaining and do stuff. And I decided to, okay, I'm going to do that. And after deciding that I have a mission, I decided to not stay in my way. So today we will discuss 8 elements which we are doing that stay in our finding in our human potential, our potential, because we have tons of potential. Well, I don't believe God made all this effort for us to be here, just to be here for nothing. Okay, so the first thing, what is standing in our way? It's our story, the story that we say about ourselves. Do you have a story that you present to the world every time when you go? I had a story. I had a story that I am suffering, that life is not fair, that I was born in Romania, and if you're born in Romania, you don't have many chances. Obviously, this is not true. Because if you look at the millionaires of this world, they didn't have a beautiful platform from the beginning, but they did what I told you at the beginning, to make your suffering an art. So now I'm inviting you to write on a paper. For me, it's very important to write on a paper your story about yourself, because when you write, you see things differently. In therapy with my clients, I always give them homework. They hate me for that, but it doesn't matter because I see results. So I want you to make this effort and write your story. What's your story about yourself? So I had this experience with my sister to wake up, to search for the meaning of life. Or maybe I work with a client that had a very bad marriage, and I told her, take this experience and teach other women that have this kind of experiences, how can they move on? How can they be independent? How can they grow and learn from your experience? So transform your suffering into art. Acknowledge the importance of you living that. You are today who you are because you lived that. So can you feel just a little bit of gratefulness for what you lived? I know it sounds very strange. How can I be grateful my dear one died? But if you're really honest with yourself, you can find gratefulness even in bad situations. Because we have this background in our mind. Oh my God, this is my story, I cannot change it. We can always change the way how we relate to our story. We can use it as an excuse. I can't grow because I have this story and it's so heavy. Or we just can say, okay, this is my story, how can I use it in my benefit? And rewrite the story. I can't tell you enough how important it is to wake up in one morning and say, from today, this is my new story. And I did it, and if I did it, I was a very shy girl. I could never ever stay in front of so many people and speak. It was such a big challenge for me. I was just hiding in a corner after everybody and not speaking with anybody when I was 20. And I worked so much on this new story of me, and today I'm in front of you. I may not speak very well all the time, but I'm here. I take this advantage. So I take this opportunity, and I believe everybody can do it if I did it. I'm a Cancer, I'm very shy, I'm very sensitive, so obviously it's very difficult for me. So now I want you to rewrite your story. Create that avatar. Who is your ideal person? Because my ideal person was a writer, a psychologist, a therapist, and a traveler, because I love traveling. So it seems like my dad always told me, like, how do you want to live your life just staying in Bali, not working? And I say, who said I don't want to work, but I want to live on an island? My dad was always saying, money don't fall from trees. And I sometimes receive money from nowhere. I told my dad I want to receive money when I'm sleeping. And when I was living in Bali, all my clients were making the payments when I was sleeping. Then I called him and I told him, you know what? This happened for me. So it's just about changing the story. So just write maybe just one idea from your new avatar, from the future version of you. Is it easy to do it? And I want you to understand that it's never too late. My idea for my second book, it's a research about love. Everybody was telling me the story that your parents are living, which are my favorite couple, by the way, they are perfect together. They told me it's not possible to live a love like that anymore. And I said, okay, then I will go into the world and search for proofs that love still exists. And now I have my second book that is called What Unites Us and What Makes Us Stay Together, with amazing couples they are from India, Bali, Romania, New York and stuff like that, lots of places. And they proved me that love still exists. So if someone tells you it's not possible, okay, I will search for proofs this exists. And we will go now, after we have this avatar in mind, we will go to the second step, that is not letting us accessing our human potential, and that is we don't detach ourselves from the past. We like this story about the past. Oh my God, every time it happened for me like this, I was dumped, or I never had money. And these are the ideas that we keep repeating in our mind. This is my truth, this is my story, I have to live by this story, which obviously it's not true. Or we can't detach from people. You know, if we are divorced, I'm not, but I'm just giving an example. We have this stamp with divorced on our face, and we can't live life otherwise. In other way. And when I was in Bali, a guy was standing next to me at the talk, and he was very nervous. I could sense him. He was very excited to ask a question. And he asked the facilitator, how can he detach from his story? He was partially blind, because when people find out about him that he can't see clearly, everybody looks at him in a different way, with compassion. They feel pettiness or something like that. So the facilitator asked him, why do you have this need to tell everybody that you're partially blind? Why do you have this need? Because I feel like I'm lying people if I don't. But he was putting the problem in a very wrong way. And the guy that was having the workshop asked him, what's your best quality? And he said, well, because I am partially blind, I can play football very well. My other senses are very developed. So now you can focus on the things that you have, and you can present to the people, I'm partially blind, but I have these things that make me amazing. So when you look at a person that is partially blind and can play football very well, have other senses very developed, you look at that person with admiration. So it's about how you present your story. That's my idea. That's what I want you to understand, that it's very important how you present yourself into the world. What's the story, like I was saying earlier, that you say about yourself? So, okay, I have this, but thanks to this, I have all the other things that complete me and make me amazing. So I want you to think about something that you can change your perspective about. I have this, I consider it something bad. How can I transform it in an asset? It's our inner dialogue and limiting beliefs. It's my favorite subject ever. This is my everyday job, working on people's limiting beliefs. So if you want, I consider myself a self-love expert, because I went from not loving myself too much to loving myself tons. And everybody is confusing this self-love with being arrogant. For me, self-love is acknowledging the fact that God created me with tons of gifts, and everything I discover about me is just a recognition of God's power in me and God's power in general. So if I love myself, it's just loving the work of God. I love myself how I am. It doesn't matter if I have a little tummy, if I'm not in a perfect shape, because God created me like that, and He considered I'm perfect, so I have to accept that. I'm perfect in my own way, just exactly like other people are perfect in their own unique way. So if you want to check on what level you are on self-love, you have to see how you talk with yourself. Because we tend to talk really critical with ourselves and really nice with our loved ones. If you compare how you talk with your best friend or with your child, It's more loving than how you talk with yourself. If you look in the mirror, you try to arrange yourself. Oh my God, I gained a little weight, I have some wrinkles. Instead of looking in a mirror and say, oh my God, this is God's work, amazing, I love it. This is what I trained myself to do, because the media didn't train me to do that. If you watch TV, which I don't, it's you have all the sins in the world and you have to change everything, which I don't believe. So when I see myself in the mirror, I acknowledge what it is. If I don't like something, I just ask myself, what could I do to love myself even more? So I want you to look a little bit in yourself and analyze, how do you talk with yourself? It's so important. It's not irrelevant at all. How do you talk with yourself? When you make a mistake, do you immediately say, oh, I'm so stupid? Because when you say that, the universe says, your wish is my command. So this is what happens. This is my favorite quote. Your wish is my command. So that's why I encourage you for the next few days, analyze how you are talking with yourself. And my main advice is to talk with yourself how you would speak with a 9-year-old girl. If you wouldn't talk with a 9-year-old girl like that, then it's not okay to talk like that with you. So, because the amazing news is that in life we are functioning from our inner child's perspective. So if our inner child was very upset about something when he was young, now when he meets a situation in real life, he will feel triggered. And our inner child will react. Maybe we have a discussion with our partner and the discussion is not that important, it's not that big, but we are very triggered. Why is that? Because our inner child that is hurt wakes up and says, oh, I don't like this, this is very scary, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to react. So every day, if you talk with yourself in your inner dialogue, observe what are you saying. Are you your main supporter? That's the most important thing to do. If nobody supports you, be your own supporter. And I can tell you that when I decided to move to Bali, nobody supported me. My dad, my mom were like, no, never, you're never going to do that. My boss said, okay, when you will finish your money, you will come back, I will receive you. And he's still waiting for me, which is not happening. So everybody didn't believe in my dream, but I had this feeling very strong in my heart that I can do that and it will work really well for me. And thank God, because he's my partner and we will talk about that, it went very, very, very well. And now, if you have any expressions that you use very often, try to be mindful about them. What do you repeat every day to yourself? When you wake up in the morning, what do you say to yourself? Oh my God, I have to wake up again. Oh, I don't like this. Why do I have to do it? Or do you wake up, oh my God, this is such an exciting day today. I'm so curious what will happen today. Okay, so I invite you to notice your inner dialogue. It's a very important aspect on discovering our potential. And then we have the limiting beliefs that are my favorite. I worked recently with a girl that told me, oh my God, since I was very young, I was the best of everything. I was so good. I was the first in my class, the first in my college. I was the first on everything that I do. And I said, oh, amazing, that's amazing. And then but she didn't like what she was doing at the moment and she wanted a change. And I said, okay, what's stopping you for doing this change? I don't know if I can make it. This is a big dream, but I don't know if I can do it. But you just spent 10 minutes explaining me how you were the best of everything, that you took all exams with 10, and now you're telling me that you can't make your dream come true and be the best of it. And she said, oh my God, you're right. I know I'm right. Because this is the fear and the story that we are keep repeating in ourselves. Even if life proves us that we can do it, we don't believe it because we have these limiting beliefs. So I want you to think about a dream that you have, a huge dream that you have right now. What's your biggest dream? And note it on your paper, please. And And now I want you to think about, why is this dream not happening? Give the first thought that you have. Because that's your limiting belief. And it's amazing, we are going to work with it right now. In my vision, to get rid of our limiting beliefs, first of all, obviously we have to acknowledge it. So from where do we have these limiting beliefs? From our parents, mostly. What we hear a lot in our family becomes our truth. Also from our experiences, even if we moved from our parents' house and we had different experiences, maybe we attracted lots of things that we had to learn from, and now we have this idea that it was like this, so it will always be like this, and this is our limiting belief. And after we acknowledge it, because that's the first big step, sometimes we have to go, for example, I do theta healing, and we go deeper, deeper, deeper in our unconscious mind, because we want to see if that limiting belief is there, hidden, and we don't see it on the surface. Or on the surface, I can say, I want to do this, this is my dream, but on a very deep level, we don't believe we can make it. So that's why we do theta healing, and we dig deeper through hypnosis or through questions, because we want to go to that limiting belief. And when we get that, when we have the knowledge, we try to work with this limiting belief. Okay, from where do you have it? What experience made it? Is it always true, or is just true in that particular moment, and now can it be different? And that's how we take the power from it, and we realize that, okay, it was true then 5 years ago, but today can be a very different story. Then acknowledge who said that. For example, my dad has this idea in his head that money don't grow on trees, it's very hard to make money, and this is his truth. But he's telling me, no, but this is my life, it's a proof of this belief. And I'm trying to tell him, no, your life, it's a proof of your belief. So the belief is creating your life, not your life creates the belief. It's totally reversed. That's what I'm trying to tell to him. And he's telling me, how can I change my truth now? And I said, okay, find proof. The next step is find proof for your new belief. So you have this belief that maybe you're not enough. You change the belief, I am enough. Okay, you will not believe it. How can I believe I'm enough if I don't feel enough? You find proof for the situations where you were enough. Because if you will be honest with you, you will find situations in your life when you were enough. Maybe at high school, maybe in your relationship, maybe a job. You had situations where you were enough. Or maybe you had situations where money came very easily for you. So basically, you're just changing the focus. Working with limiting beliefs, it's like going to put money in a bank. You put money in a bank of your limiting belief, or you put money in the bank of your new belief, I am enough. And that's what you will take at the ATM. It's a very easy way to see it. So, okay, at first you will not believe, okay, I'm enough. I don't believe that, that's bullshit. I will watch myself in the mirror and repeat that, retrain my mind again and again for 66 days. I am enough, I am enough, I am enough. And then your mind will say, okay, this girl keeps saying she's enough, I don't believe it, but maybe she's right. And you keep saying, I am enough, and you search for proof when I was enough, and you try to convince your mind, okay, so maybe she's right, maybe she's enough, and your life will change. But what happens is that we give up so quickly. If after a week we don't feel enough, we're like, this is not working, affirmation are not working, I don't believe in that. Why is that? Because everybody says we have to work 21 days to change our habits or our beliefs. Yes, 21 days, it's amazing, but 21 days is the excitement. We have a new habit, we are very happy about it, oh my God, it's so amazing. But then, the next 21 days or 30 days, it's becoming like, okay, I enjoy doing that, it's kind of part from our day-to-day life, but we still don't believe it. And only in the last 30 days we can say for sure that this is part of me. So that's why so many people don't have results in working with affirmations, because they don't have patience. They say after a week, oh, it's not working. Okay, of course it's not working because you didn't even really try it. So my suggestion for you right now is to find that limiting belief. Do you have it? Why is your dream not happening? Do you know from where it's coming? Okay. Can you believe the possibility it could be different? Yes? Okay. And from tomorrow, I want you to start searching for new proofs. Every morning you have a choice. I go into the world, search proofs for my limiting belief or for my new belief. And that's what I did with my second book. Everybody told me, no, you will never find love again like that. Your mother and father are a different story. It does not exist anymore. And I said, okay, I don't believe this. I'm going into the world to prove myself, to find proof that this love still exists. And I did. So in my head now, it's very clear, because I proved to myself, I believe this new idea. So much for putting this perspective, because this is an idea I meet a lot. So this is another limiting belief, that we have to go to Bali to change our lives. No, that's not true. We can do it in our kitchen, everywhere. It doesn't matter where we are. But I receive tons of messages from people that are in relationship, have kids, and oh my God, Anna, I want to do what you're doing. You can do it from your kitchen. You can do it from where you want. And I would want to have a family and kids, and I would make heaven with what I have. That's my main idea. Make heaven with what you have. So you are not required to stay 100% of the time with your family and kids. You can take 1 week break and have beautiful revelations. I had retreats in Bali for 10 days. And after 10 days in Bali, people changed their life. They divorced, or they started a new business. They made huge changes just because they went there and had this time with themselves. But you can have this time with yourself no matter. You just have to have the courage to make a little bit of silence and say, okay, soul, I'm ready to listen to you now. The next step is not owning who you are. I work with lots of people that have amazing ideas, but they are afraid to put it in front because oh my God, what will people say if I'm not enough? And what I tell to those people is, who are these people commenting? Why are they so important? Because in general, people, if they have a beautiful life, if they have everything how they wanted to have, they don't have time to look at you and say, oh my God, Anna went to Bali and did that and that and that. Only the people who are not okay with their life will comment. So I want you to ask yourself, why are those people so important? Why am I so afraid about those people? Why are they more important than my dreams? Instead of saying, oh, why do I have to leave that? Because that's very heavy. Ask yourself, what's the lesson from it? Why do I have to put my life on hold for other people? What's the benefit of it? Because you have benefits in this situation. So you have to ask yourself, what's the benefit of being in that? And not take it as a punishment. Or maybe you have a limiting belief that my parents gave me everything, now I have to give them back. I don't know. We have to go into a session to dig deeper. I'm just saying. So you have to just ask yourself, what's the benefit from it and what's the lesson? I can't guess it. The truth is only in your heart, right? Now I want you to own what you are today. Can you do it? Is it hard? Do you know who you are to own? If I ask you who you are, can you answer like in 3 phases? Okay, write it then. Who you are. Who are you? Like, if you're not a mother, if you're not a daughter, if you're not a father, if you take all these names, who really, really, really are you? And ask yourself now, how can I express what I am, what I really, really am? What's the first step that I should do to express it without fearing about what other people say, what other people think? And the next step is, what's your personal brand? Because we think that personal brands only refer to businesses or public people. That's not true. Everybody are a personal brand. So my personal brand that sells very well in Romania is, I quitted my job and moved to Bali. Everybody wants to do that. And I make it seem very easy, but it's not. It's all the hard work in the back. So who works with me, maybe they don't want to go to Bali, maybe they have another dream. So who works for me has to do all this work. And it will work for them also because they are dedicated to this process of self-development. So I don't want to believe that nothing comes without work, but you have to do the inner work if you want to change your life and to access your human potential. So as a homework, I want you to take this, what's my personal brand? What's my message for the world? Because I have lots of people in my social media trying to have a yoga page. Okay, you have a yoga page. There are tons of yoga pages. Why is your page different? What's your story? My story is this. That's why people invite me in Romania to give interviews on TV, because they like my story. What's your story? I have my best friend that's a yoga teacher, and she had the best yoga studio in Romania. Why? Because she had a story. She was selling the story very well. And you have to own it. That's the main important thing, to own your story. Okay, I'm not perfect, I have these sins, but this is who I am. And when you acknowledge that you have sins, that you're not perfect, people are very interested because you allow them to not be perfect and do what they want. It's so relieving. Oh my God, look at that girl, it's not perfect, and I can do whatever she's doing, not being perfect also. And it's so amazing. So own your story, and see how you can manifest it into the world without minding what other people think. If I ask my clients, what do you really want? They start telling me what they don't want. I don't want that, I don't want that. Okay, this is a good first step. I don't want that. For me, it was, I don't want to stay in an office without windows 10 hours a day and 2 hours in traffic. That's not life for me. And I don't want to work for people that are super rich and spending the money on things that I have no value in my vision. I don't want to put my energy in that. So I knew that's what I don't want. And then, okay, but what do I want? How could I go to people and say, I want to go in Bali and live on an island? Okay, but that sounds a little bit selfish. If you put it like that, yes. But I was searching for meaning. I was searching for something. And I didn't want to give up working, because I have days still that I work 12 hours a day. I still work, but I wanted to have this freedom of working what I want, when I want, working what I want, and so on. So I'm asking you, what do you want? You can establish that from writing, what do you don't want? What don't you want? Okay, start. But if you know what you already want, that's perfect. Sometimes we have struggles in owning what we want and accessing what we want, because we believe that we have to be part of a group. We have to adapt to the group because this is normality. Everybody goes at an office 10 hours a day. I have to do it also. Everybody gets married and has kids. I have to do it also. It was okay when we were living in tribes. Obviously, we had to adapt to the tribes, because if we were not adapting to the tribes, they would throw us out and we would die. And in our mind, our subconscious mind, we still believe, oh my God, if I will be taken out of the tribe, I will die, which is not true. Actually, in this new world that we are having, if we are unique, if we are different, if we own our differences, we became a leader, and that's amazing. So that's what I'm inviting you, to be unique and find, why could you be a leader for your little tribe? We worry that, what if I will, start doing my thing and nobody will follow? Maybe you will lose some friends, maybe some people will criticize you, which is perfect, but your people will come to you, okay? So I started from 800 people, and now I have 18,000 people following me. So those are my people, my tribe. They resonate with what I say, and it's a little tribe. I'm happy with them. They come to my events, they buy my books, we have beautiful conversations. So find your tribe. And also I want you to know that when you hide your truth, you're stealing from people. I know it sounds strange, but you're stealing from people because you could inspire those people to change their life, and you're not doing it because you're lazy or because you don't want to own your story. So you're a thief. It sounds really interesting, right? If you put it like that. So you have this mission to be who you are for yourself and for other people, and not steal from other people. Your amazingness. I work with lots of people that don't believe in God. I don't know from where they believe they came, but they don't believe in God. I personally believe in Him a lot, and I've seen His work through me. Everything that I do, even this meeting, I dedicate to Him. I believe He made such a huge effort for me to be here, and I believe He made this effort for everybody. It doesn't matter if you call Him God, Mickey Mouse. He's very, very chill. He likes just your energy. He's not so much about these names. And now I know that because when I was in Bali, a woman, a meditation teacher that was in clinical death, saw this light called God, and she felt a huge happiness. God, it's a happiness feeling, a light, a strong light, and a huge feeling of hope. That's how I imagine God, not as an old man wanting to punish us. I imagine Him as a very friendly partner. So in my life, I don't consider myself alone, even if I'm in Bali alone with no friends, like I was at the beginning. I consider myself having the best partner in the world, God. And when I'm very upset that I don't understand what's His message for me, I actually yell at Him, "What do you want me to learn? Come on, show me, because I'm so bored." And that's the moment where I have to be in acceptance and have patience and understand the divine timing. And when I allow Him to do the job, it's way better than what I ever imagined, because my mind is very limited. I want this and this and this. And then I create space for Him, and He comes and presents something even something better. So now I do this game a little bit easier. I trust Him. I trust His plan. I say to Him, I want this or something better. Because I don't try to be the general manager of the universe anymore. I understand that I am a human being, and He's way better than me. And when you believe you have this amazing partner, life's changing. Also, as I told you at the beginning, we are this hand. God works through people. So God will not come and do it Himself, but He will do it through people. I am here today because I met amazing people that gave me a platform. And I'm very grateful for that, because they allow me to be here today. And I'm hoping that you will take at least one idea to work on in your life from this. So I believe all these people that helped me today were sent from God. I prayed for them. And we will do an exercise at the end of this workshop to access the people that will help you to access your dreams. Obviously, in life we need both, because if we only give, we are like a cup that will finish at one point. So don't consider yourself selfish if you want to receive. It's not about, it's unconditional love, but it's understanding that when you are offering something, the universe, it's a law that the universe will come back to you and give it to you back. So the way you were able to receive like something so small like compliments is the way you allow yourself to receive in life. So that's a homework that I want you to take. Why is it so hard for me to receive some compliments? Because it will be so hard for me to receive, I don't know, if I want a bag of $1 million, or if I want the most amazing man on a planet, or I don't know, what you wish for, right? So if you're having blockages on receiving some compliments, analyze yourself. How will you receive other things in your life, right? It's very important to access our human potential, to have rituals. My life is built on rituals. So Priyanka asked you at the beginning of this talk, what's your ritual every morning? So it's so important to have rituals. But obviously we get bored. To say the affirmations again every morning, so boring. That's why I have my own thing. I mix. Some days I do affirmations, some days I do meditations. I have like 50 meditations. I mix them. What I feel to do to work today, I want to work on prosperity. I put a meditation about prosperity. So my advice for you, if I would have to give one, is to choose your way of working with yourself and do that. Sometimes even working on a dress, it's a form of meditation. Don't believe that you have to actually stay in lotus and meditate. Maybe it's boring for you, but maybe you enjoy taking care of kids and playing with them. That's a form of meditation. Maybe you enjoy making dresses. That's a form of meditation, or walking. But create that space of not doing anything. It's very important, of being with yourself and building this ritual every day. So choose. You can do, I don't know, affirmations, meditations, yoga, what's natural for you, and play with them and discover what do you like. It's very important to do at least 10 minutes a day to access your human potential, because in that stillness, in that silence, the intuition comes to you, visits you, and gives you ideas, new perspectives, and so on. And I was working with a client last week, and she told me that she spends tons of time on her actual boyfriend exes. So I don't know why it was that important, but she was staying on her Instagram a lot, and she had a problem with that. And she was saying in the same session, I don't have time to do sport, I don't have time to do the gym, I don't have time for meditation. And I said, oh, interesting. But do you have time to stay on Instagram? And she said, well, yes, I just told you, I spend 30 minutes a day to watch my the ex of my boyfriend. And I said, okay, every time you have this urge to look on Instagram, use, with your conscience, use that time to do something for yourself. So now she has a homework to do a meditation every time she wants to enter on Instagram. It's a lie that we don't have time. Everybody has time if you make your priorities, if you really settle your priorities. Which are my priorities? I understand that a lot of people say they relax when they go on Instagram, but actually Instagram and Facebook are an escape from your reality, are not relaxation. They are triggering you lots of times. They are making you notice what you don't have, and we don't want that. We want to focus on what we can achieve, how can we expand. So obviously Instagram is an amazing tool if you don't use it to punish yourself. The art of receiving. And now I want you to ask yourself, how do you believe that we are able to access our dreams? By being in the masculine energy, taking action, making plans, speaking with people, struggling, or we have to go in the back and don't do nothing and let the universe do the job? Because I hear a lot, oh, I didn't do anything and it just happened to me. What do you think is the better version? We have to be in our feminine energy, connect ourselves with the intuition, that's feminine energy, meditate, go in nature, speak with people, and have this idea. And then we move into the masculine energy, and we take actions, we speak with people, we make a plan, we do everything that depends on us. And then the step that people miss is move back to the feminine energy and just don't do anything, because that's when things are happening, when we take a break. But obviously if we don't see the results, we were like, how can I relax? Oh my God, but if I relax, nothing will happen. No, actually, that's when you create space for things to happen. And one of my coaches in Bali said that he had a very bad period. He was doing his best to attract clients. The clients were not coming, and he said, oh my God, I give up this thing. I don't know what to do. I'm going to the movies. And in Bali, there's a nice place to see the movie in Ubud. It's just some coaches and a TV just like this. And it was in the middle of the day. It was only him and a woman watching the movie because everybody was busy at that hour. And after the film ended, they started talking, and she became his first client because he gave up on struggling. He just said, okay, this is my time to relax. And I also have an example of a friend of mine that moved to a new country, and she was struggling. She couldn't find a job. She couldn't find a place to live. And she said, okay, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to some dance classes. And at that dance class, she met a girl that was leaving the country, and she asked, do you want to stay in my home? So basically, she created the space to receive. And that's the homework that I want you to receive from this talk, to make everything that depends on you, but then create space to receive. Give up the struggling. Trust in your best partner, God. He knows exactly what you want. You don't have to keep reminding him, God, do you know what I want? Did you forget? Listen, I want this and this and this, and you have to do it like that. No. That's the masculine energy trying to control things. That's why we all have these two beautiful energies that we can mix and play. And that's what I do in my workshops. I challenge people to move from an energy to another and see which one is dominant and how they can play and use them in their favor. And now I want you to go back to your intention. You had an intention, right? You wrote a desire on your page. Full cup in advance. What does that mean? After you do everything that depends on you, after you do all the actions, it's like going in a plane with an exotic destination. You're very sure when you are in that plane that you're going to be in 5 hours in an exotic destination. And you're excited, you're grateful. You don't ask yourself, will this pilot know the way? Will we arrive there? No. You just are relaxed, enjoying your coffee, and you know you're going to be there. And that's the feeling that you have to have with your dreams. You did everything that depended on you. Now you're very sure about your destination. So you behave like a cup full in advance, meaning you behave with faithfulness. You believe God is doing the job. You did everything. And you start doing little steps to show your trust to the universe. Meaning, if you want to attract a partner, you go to the mall and buy a present for that partner because you know it's just few weeks apart from you. So when he comes, you want to offer that partner a present. If you want a new home, you go to the mall and buy a product for your future home. You don't have it now, but the home exists. You're very sure it will come. So you make an act of trust by buying a product. And every time you see that product, it's a reminder for you, oh my God, it's going to happen. And you move yourself into that beautiful energy. It's on a way, and you're maintaining this energy. A mistake that lots of people do is that if they don't see the results in the first few weeks, they give up and they change their mind. This is not working, I'm giving up. So basically, the universe is very attentive. Oh, your wish is my command. And now it changes your energy. You just decided you don't want your dream to come true anymore. You just change your energy. So the next day you wake up again and you remind yourself, oh, this was my dream. Okay, I'm going back to my dream. I'm watching the object that I bought to sustain my belief that is going to happen. First chakra is our connection with the ground, with our roots. The second chakra is our sexuality. It's our point of creation. The way how we relate to our sexuality is the way how we create our life. The third chakra is our trust in ourselves, our light, how we present ourselves in the world. And the fourth chakra is how we love ourselves, how we love others, how open we are to love. And the fifth chakra is our heart song. It's our truth to the world. Here it's our third eye, our intuition, and here is the connection with everything. And now what I want you to do during this exercise, meditation, is to take the energy from the first two chakras, the sexual chakra that I told you, that is the power, it's the one that gives our dreams the fuel, and move that energy from the back, put it here in the third eye, and then in front your going with the energy down, and you're making a circle. Did you understand? Okay. So you're focusing at the beginning on the second chakra, then you're moving the energy up here in the third eye, and then making a circle. And it's a very beautiful manifestation meditation. Okay? I want you to please close your eyes. A vision about the human potential. I believe that if we work with these tools, we will be able to see changes in time. But with patience, with 66 days of work, with trust and detachment.